While safer at home may help limit the spread of the coronavirus, it can also lead to some unintended consequences, including a rise in child abuse and domestic violence. CBS 4's Jim DeFede spoke earlier today with the Secretary of the Florida Department of Children and Families about what the state is seeing.
And honestly, this is one of the things I'm worried about. Every summer when the kids go home from school, our calls to the hotline drop pretty steeply. And that's because our teachers who are on the front line working with the kids and see them every day, they're not there to notice something and make a call into the hotline. And so that's always just generally speaking in a normal year, that's a period of time the department is extra concerned. But now we have it where, we're all social distancing and we're not really interacting with one another very much. So you have the other folks in the community that might see something normally, to be able to make a call in. And so, right now we're seeing a 35% drop in our calls to the child abuse hotline. That's not a good thing. That's not a good statistic for us. We are still, from an investigative standpoint, if we get one of those calls, our investigators are still going to see that child. There's different criteria in statute, but it's either a 4-hour response time or a 24-hour response time. We are still getting there on time. Our CPIs have been, I'm going to use the word brave, very brave. We've got them PPE. They're going in homes. And you can imagine, how they're anxious as well about contracting or giving or passing it along, the virus, to other folks. So we've got PPE for our folks. We're still doing the in-home visits.
Let's turn to domestic violence now for a second. What are you seeing from DCF's perspective when it comes to domestic violence reporting?
It's similar to the child abuse situation I referred to earlier. Our calls to the Florida Domestic Violence Hotline are down. It's another one of those trends we're concerned with. To your point, folks are starting to get stressed out, particularly if your financial outlook has taken a hit and you've been inside a home and can't really go anywhere right now. It's not a great situation. And so just like on the child abuse side with teachers, the more we interact with one another in society, we're able to see, something's not right. Maybe I should call the hotline. We're not around many folks right now. And so we are concerned.
More than just not being around folks, if I'm a girlfriend or a wife and I'm being abused, if I'm around my husband or boyfriend the entire time locked in basically a house, and I'm not going out to the store or I'm not leaving to be able to make that phone call, then is that the reason why you think the numbers are down, is because people aren't leaving their homes to be able to report?
Absolutely. I think it's a combination of all of that, but absolutely. When are you going to have a moment to grab the phone and make the call? And so these are things we are concerned with. I mean, the situation is what it is. I mean, from the pandemic perspective, but we do, again, we all know somebody. We've got our family. We've got friends. We know folks that probably could use a phone call. When we do go outside to go get groceries or whatever it is, paying attention, paying attention a little bit more than we usually do right now it would be quite helpful for the children and the vulnerable folks in Florida right now.
You can watch more of Jim's interview with DCF Secretary Chad Popple this Sunday on Facing South Florida at 11:30. Jim will also be joined by Florida Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried and Dr. Hansel Tooks, who started the Needle Exchange program in Miami.